Okay, just setting this up. I got my notes right here. I am attempting to talk and do my makeup at the same time. And the title of this video is Promised Forever. Something else. No longer promised forever. Something about Trichotillomania. Okay. So I actually have a list of notes, and I'm going to be just like reading the notes off my paper, because I just have some things on my mind. I haven't created any content for YouTube in a while on my channel. So I wanted to, I'm also going to be looking at my mirror at the same time. I'm using some makeup samples from Estee Lauder, and I'm just going to be mixing some colors as I talk. So if you've been following me for a while, you know that I suffer from a condition called Trichotillomania, and that is a certain type of OCD that causes me to have a strong urge to pull out my hair. Okay, so after being a Jehovah's Witness and waking up, I had to come to a realization that none of that, like living forever, being in paradise earth, that's not going, that most likely may not, there is not proof that can actually happen, right? No one really knows what happens to you when you die. And so it was very heartbreaking for me to come to that realization, because I always knew, or I thought I knew that I was going to wake up or walk into paradise and I would be perfect and my hair would already be long waking up, or it would grow in this state of perfection, however it was supposed to go down. But I know now that that is not true. No one really knows what happens to us when we die. So that was really upsetting for me. I was very angry and upset. I felt foolish, stupid, and dumb. And then I came to the realization that a lot of people that I looked up to who are also Jehovah's Witnesses, hello, hi, they, I lost my train of thought for a second. Okay, people who I respected who were also Jehovah's Witnesses, some of those individuals were doctors, attorneys, or were just good people. Like they were like a founder of a company or high up in a company, a reputable company, things like that. And I understand that for people who are not Jehovah's Witnesses, they have a hard time thinking that people who have those type of titles could be a Jehovah's Witness, because you think of those people as being smart, okay, just like I did. But, there's different levels of intelligence, and it took me a while to really understand that. And so, because even though some of the things in the religion didn't make sense to me, I stuck with the religion because I was like, I just thought I was slow. Like I wasn't getting something that everybody else was getting, or it didn't hit, like the light bulb just didn't click off for me while I was in that religion. Because I always thought, like, I don't really think anyone really knows what happens when we die. But there was all these people, who I respected, who were Jehovah's Witnesses and bought into that religion. So I'm looking at them because they had this certain title or these certain credentials, and I'm like, well, they're really smart. They're a witness. There just must be something I'm not getting. I am struggling in school. This is like the thought process that was going on in my head. I am struggling in school. I've always, kind of struggled in schools, when I was in school. And I was just like, yeah, eventually the light bulb will click off for me. All these other people who I respect, including my parents, are in it. So whatever. So I just believed in it, you know, and then of course, you know, I'm listening, I'm doing my studies and things like that. And it sounded really great, you know, what some of the things, you know, but life now wasn't great. You know, living as a Jehovah's Witness at the present time, you know, now, you know, because it's you got to do all this stuff. If you know anything about the religion, it's daunting. It's too much. It's too much going on with that. And then you're still in this society that requires you to show up to make a living. This person said a lot of people act like they have it together, but we are all in the same boat. That is true. That is true in a lot of cases. So once I fully woke up from that religion, and because I was like, first I was just against the leaders of the religion, but then I realized that the religion was not also based off historically correct things. So then I was like, oh, so this is all a lie. Like everything about the religion is just a lie. I do my makeup with my fingers, so I have to grab paper towels to wipe my hands. And excuse me if I seem a little bit spacey right now. I don't know. I just woke up with like a headache. It is making me feel like, ooh. So excuse that. Let's see. I wrote on my list. I just wanted to hit all the points. I'll do like a better video on this subject later. But I basically just want to express that being told all your life that if you have some type of disorder or ailment, however you say that word, like if you have an illness or something like that, okay, that you'll be cured from it because you'll be in paradise if you just be a part of this religion, right? So that was one of the reasons what kept me in that religion for so long, because I was seeing things that just didn't make sense, okay? And if I would have taken the more time to invest in things that I needed for my condition, then I could have probably I would have been on a healing journey. And I would have been a lot further along in that healing journey. And so a lot of people feel like their time, including myself, and energy has been wasted into this religion, and it's and I'm dealing with a life stunting disorder, right? Now, I'm in a position where I can disguise my condition. Like right now, you see that my eyebrow is missing hair because I decided to go and pull it because I was feeling anxious, I was upset, and I started pulling. Now, I don't even have to be anxious and upset to start pulling. I could be just normal, neutral. I could also be super excited and I would start pulling. Now, whereas when I was younger, I feel like it was easier for me to manage my pulling when I was younger. Now that I'm older, I feel like it's way out of control. Like as soon as I take off this wig that I'm wearing right now, as soon as I take this off, I immediately start pulling. I don't immediately start pulling my brows. If I'm pulling my lashes, that's kind of rare. Maybe like I wore fake lashes for something, for an event, and because when you take off the lashes, like that is something that will trigger me. So I pulled off for situations like that. But I don't really touch my eyelashes so much. Whereas like one random time I actually might like pull enough for it to be noticeable. But it's not very common. Me pulling my eyebrows is a lot more common. And then I want to say, yeah, except for the summer, because I experiment in the summer because I like to swim. Other than that, I'm mostly wearing a wig to cover the front of my hair, especially because the front of my scalp is where I like to pull the most. And then the middle of my scalp is where I like to pull secondly. And feel free to ask any questions because this is a very common disorder that no one knows about, or not maybe know about, but talk about, okay? So a lot of times this will come up in conversation, my disorder, right? And someone will say, oh my gosh, my auntie does that. Or this girl I used to sit next to in class did that. As a matter of fact, I was trying to hire somebody from Fiverr to create something for me. And this guy is like in the Philippines or something like that. And he says, oh my gosh, there's a girl, you know, in my class that did that. And he had like this whole discussion, because I also am the founder of a nonprofit that helps individuals with trichotillomania. And so I was having him do my logo, and he's trying to understand like what the company and the business is about, or, you know, what I'm looking for and the logo and all these little different things. And he ends up telling me like, oh my goodness, I just thought it was like just this one girl, but apparently this is a thing, you know? And I expressed it to him, yeah. Like he thought the girl was just like weird. And it is quite strange, I will admit, because, you know, a lot of people think like, oh, you pull your hair, like that hurts. Whereas a person with trichotillomania, it doesn't hurt them. I don't know one person who's reported that it hurts. It's more like a relief. And there are severe cases and there's mild cases. And I'm unfortunately on the severe case. So you could be a hair puller, okay, and have a body-focused repetitive behavior, which is a type of OCD. Nail biting also falls under that, and skin picking. And there's some other ones too, okay? But those are the three big ones, is the nail biting, skin picking, hair pulling. I do the hair pulling. I needed to do this real quick. So, I feel like I was going somewhere with that. But like I said, feel free to ask me any questions. Okay, so some of the struggles with hair pulling, and where I just thought like, okay, I'm not gonna have to worry about this. I'm not gonna invest a lot of time in this, because paradise, you know, Armageddon is coming any day now, and I don't have to worry about actually investing time and energy in trying to fix my hair. Now, you know, I just did bare minimal things. Now I don't do that anymore, okay? I buy the most affordable wig that I can get, the most like quality wig that I can get, okay? So if that means I have to cut corners in other places and only do my makeup and makeup samples, okay, that I go collect, and maybe buy the one makeup product that I may actually need, okay, so that I can have the money to afford my hair. Like, no, I don't really like to go out to eat, and if I'm not with my own money at least, go out to eat and be spending my money on that. I will eat at home. I do not care. I know how to cook. Like, I know how to prepare meals. I save my money so that I can spend the money for this hair. So this is a wig, just in case anybody's curious. This is a wig from Hair VV. It's an idiot-proof type of wig. Like, if you are a beginner and you have to install your own wigs, but you want a nice, good quality wig that's going to last, that's durable and manageable, Hair VV. It's idiot proof, okay? When it comes to lace frontal wigs, okay? Not just a regular wig where it's like, you know, maybe some lace 4x4, 6x6 something, you put it on, you don't have to worry about laying your edges down, okay? Which I still don't know how to do, but practice makes progress, right? So there's that. So this is almost a $400 wig. And because, you know, I stay on their website, I look for deals and, you know, clearance things, stuff like that when they do have that. Well, maybe not clearance, because I don't think I've ever had a wig from them from clearance, but on sale, or I had like a coupon code that I could use, right? A discount code. I keep thinking that someone's sending me a message, but no one's sending me anything. Okay, so having trichotillomania is just life stunting enough, right? And then also to being a Black woman who has this disorder with the hair type of 4B, 4C hair, okay? Because I have a mixture of textures here. Mostly like it's tight little ringlets, okay? So I have to allocate time to detangling my hair, my real hair, not this wig, okay? My real hair. And what I have to also do is spend money. This is a very costly disorder, honestly, okay? Like, if you think about it, I view my hair as if like I'm missing a limb, okay? Like, people would sometimes have said to me, like, you spend way too much money on your hair. And I'm thinking, like, would you say that to someone who had a missing arm but got a prosthetic arm? You know, but the person who's wearing the hook, right? Like, they couldn't afford the mechanical arm that has like the fingers moving, all that stuff, right? You know, they were able just to get the hook. Like, you could start where the hook is, you know, with the prosthetic, but don't you want to elevate to something better, you know? And so, like, yeah, I used to wear synthetic wigs at times, but I hated it because it was more maintenance, because it got tangled up, matted up, and it wasn't a true representation of my healthiness. You know what I mean? Um, so I'm like, no, I don't like the synthetic wigs. I'd rather save up my money and get the real wigs. And I started learning how to sew up my own wigs, right? And taking the little bit of money I did have to get the one main piece that I needed to make it look as real and natural as possible. So, like a braid down, and I don't know how to cornrow my own hair. I don't actually know how to cornrow or braid down, okay, hair at all. So that is something I'm now going to invest the energy and time to do. Now, I'm 37 years old, but if I wasn't buying into this lie, okay, and I keep reeling it back to the religion, and also want to keep emphasizing and educating about trichotillomania, because religions and or any type of high controlled situation do that. It can be stunting. You could have already been more elevated if you started a lot sooner. So anyway, I wish I knew how to braid hair, okay? But now I have to pay for that service. If I can't phone a friend and ask for like a favor and they braid my hair down, first of all, I have to hope that they can even do it well enough for it to look nice and neat and flat, so that I can make the wig install look natural, right? So if I phone a friend or something like that, usually they're cool and I pay them like $40. But if I don't, if I can't schedule an appointment or it's too last minute or whatever, then I have to go to like an African braiding salon or just a hair braiding salon. It don't even have to be African hair braid, but that's usually where I go. And lately that's where I've been going due to the new side of town that I'm at. But yeah, and it's $60 to $65. So that's what I paid around January-ish time. This last time I got this breakdown before I installed this wig was $80. Excuse me, I paid $70, but she told me it went up to $80. But because I hadn't been there in a while, you know, I wasn't aware of that. So she only charged me the 70, but moving forward, she said it's going to be 80. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy time. $80 for just a braid down. You can get like your whole hair braided in single braids for like $180, right? So it's just like, okay, you know, but this woman, she does really good work. And honestly, like, I don't want to get services that are half-ass, right? I'll cut corners anywhere else. So another struggle as a woman with trichotillomania, right? Is before I was wearing wigs like this, I was worried about the wind blowing too hard. So when I would style my own real hair, right, I would have it like pasted down with all this gel, okay, so that I could, whatever hair I did have left, cover up the bald spot that I created. And sometimes I wasn't always successful in doing that, and the wind would blow really hard or something like that, and you could see the bald spot, and I would be just so insecure. Like, I looked in the mirror a lot. I was always looking in the mirror because I wanted to see if like my hair looked okay or if like a bald spot was being exposed. So I lived with that kind of anxiety for a really long time. And I still am like trying to manage ways to not have that anxiety, because now it's not just when I wear the wigs, it's not can you see my bald spot? It's like, can you see the wig lifting if it's like been a while, if I had the wig on for a while or something like that. Like I just reinstalled this wig yesterday, so it looks pretty good right now, but it's a fresh install. But say it was like 5 days in, it's like, oh gosh, the ear tabs are lifting up, and always having to go and making sure you have the lace adhesive and maybe carrying an extra one in your purse or something like that, and then putting it on, hoping it'll dry down in a decent time. And you know what I mean? Like no one's seen that. Because for me, that's just really embarrassing, okay? And in the summertime, I was experimenting with leaving my hair out because I was like, well, it maybe I'll be so active that I won't have time to sit down or like have a moment for me to be paying attention to pulling my hair. That has happened at times, but most of the time, if my real hair is exposed, I will pull it. And in the summer, I was like, well, I really want to swim. I'll just wear a headband. I will just tell myself, no, I won't pull. And I end up failing miserably every time. Like, I cannot be trusted, okay? In there, I know this is going to sound extreme, but in the Bible, it says it's like, if your right eye is stumbling, cut it out. Cut it out. Like, do you know how many times I've thought about actually cutting my fingers off? Like, not all my fingers, just like my fingertips so I can't grip and grasp my hair. I know it's extreme. But I thought about that so many times. So yeah, it's just expensive. Like a bottle for lace adhesive is like $20. And like if you want a really good lace adhesive, $35. Okay. And then God forbid you run out of it and you're running low on money during that time, you know. I'm just going back to my list. Look, I mentioned most of the things. Does anyone have any questions? Someone wrote W. Hello, my name is Camila. If you're still on, hello, Camila. Do any of you guys know of an individual who has this same disorder, trichotillomania? And I'm curious to know, like, if anybody is interested in, like, seeing, like, in real time, what it looks like for me to have to reinstall my wig. Like, so I worked out yesterday. I did a yoga class. And then I have another class, like a more active class, that I'm going to tomorrow. And it's now getting hot, right? So, and I live in the South, and it's springtime, or it's heading towards spring. It's not even technically spring yet. It's heading towards spring. So I'm struggling with trying to figure out, like, okay, how can I work out and wear a lace frontal? Because you work out, you start sweating, and so your hairline is going to start lifting. Okay, this lace adhesive is only so water resistant, okay, sweat resistant. Okay, there's no, well, not that I am aware of or have access to. If you know something that I don't know, let me know. If there is some type of medical grade safe adhesive that lasts for like months, you know what I mean? And you can install a lace frontal and have your hair covered for a while, and you can swim, wash your hair under the shower, submerge your whole hairline, right? And the glue will hold up for a long time. This, okay, without too much water or anything like that going on, can last up to 2 weeks. Can. However, it's challenging at times because I'm so active. And I'm just kind of like I'm a sweaty girl, okay? I sweat a little bit too much sometimes. And I live in the South. I live in heat. So right now it's heading towards spring, and the high today is going to be 79 degrees. Okay, it's pretty warm. It's pretty warm. So we are in the middle of March. So yeah, I was sweating during yoga class yesterday, and my wig almost slid right off. And I only had the install, it was like heading towards the 5th day or the 6th day, maybe at most. At most. I think we're going to put on some blush. And then I need to do mascara. And then my lip stain. Oh, hold on. I'm just looking in the mirror in front of me. But please feel free to ask any questions. I know that it's a bit uncanny, you know, it's very different. But my goal is to help spread more awareness on it, because there are a lot of individuals who are suffering with this disorder in silence. There have been several individuals who remained anonymous, and they reported that they would lie and say they have cancer. They would, I don't know, come up with some lie to, I don't know, I guess they were just too embarrassed to admit that they had a problem with pulling out their own hair. Because there's a lot of shame and guilt associated with it, because of the simple fact that you're doing it to yourself. And because I've had the comment even by people at the doctor's office, like, just stop. Just stop doing it. And be frustrated with me. And I'm looking at them like, I'm coming to you for help. Like, if I could just stop, I wouldn't be here. Like, people do not understand how severe it is. And I get it's hard to understand. But there is, you know, the saying, there's a fine line between pain and pleasure. And that fine line is literally very close to each other. In whatever hemisphere that neuron is at. I guess my wires got crossed, okay? And it does not hurt. It feels relieving, very relieving. And that feeling is very addicting, dare I say, which I've said several times before. So I'm on my journey to figure out if I am going to invest the time into sewing in basically human hair into my braids that is close to the texture of my real hair. Okay, so this is not my real hair texture, right? This is real human hair, but it's not a representation of my real texture of hair. Can my real hair get straight like this? Absolutely, yes, it can. Okay, like with the silk press, but in the summertime, black girls ain't trying to do all that because you're gonna sweat it out. Okay. So I am thinking about doing some type of U-part wig where it's my natural texture, hair texture. Maybe braiding the front, braiding my real hair in the front and doing a U-part wig or something like that. Or like doing braided bangs, because I do have enough hair. Like, my hair in the front is about this short. So I have enough for it to, the braider to grab, and I do like the single braided bangs, which I think is so cute, so different, so exotic, so mysterious. And I want to do that. I did do that sort of through a braided wig. Okay, maybe I can post a picture of the thumbnail later. I don't know. It's on my Instagram. If you're curious to see what that looks like, it's on my Instagram, where I wore this braided wig and it had bangs, and I put beads at the bottom of it, and I thought it was so cute. But I wanted to look more natural, so I'm not afraid to try things. So I'm thinking possibly maybe this summer I will braid my real hair down with some I'm going to need some extensions because it's this short. So I still need to add fake hair to it, put beads at the end of it, and then either do the rest of my hair in single braids or wear like a U-part wig or sew in tracks of human hair, but in my texture, to just blend it all together. That way I have a look that I can wear and keep for a while in the summertime as I can swim in the ocean and in the pool. Because I will, and the lake, because I'm taking the kids for sailing camp. So that's at a lake. And then I'll be where the ocean is. So I'll be in the ocean and the pool in the neighborhood. So I want to be able to, interact with the kids in that way. So, because I haven't been really doing that the last several summers because my pooling unfortunately just got a little worse. So it seems like as I get older, the urge to pool, not even just the urge, I don't even notice it sometimes. So like an urge implies that like, ooh, I feel the fact that I need to do this. If I'm really upset, then yes. But there's other times where I'm doing it and I have no idea I'm doing it. My sister was really, really nice to me about it. And she would say awareness to me. Like, so if she noticed that I'm across the room or whatever, and whatever I'm doing, she would see that I'm pulling and she would be like, awareness, awareness. So I always really, really liked that because it wasn't like she was popping my hand and saying, stop, I saw you pulling, or like, stop pulling, you know, because I've had people do that to me and that racks up my nerves because now I'm like exposed and I didn't even realize I was doing it myself, and it makes you feel bad. And they kind of get like this annoying look, or like, because I've had this one girl do that to me a couple of times, and like that just, you know, it hurt my feelings. But they also like don't understand what it is to have that, because it's on the level of Tourette's. Having that disorder is on the level of Tourette's. Trichotillomania specifically. I can't say about the other BFRBs. You know, there's the Trichotillomania Learning Center, which is bfrb.org. Okay, they changed their website after rebranding, but there's a lot of information on that website if you want to know like more of medical type things, information on it. I stopped studying it to that degree, to that extent, because I became like obsessive about it for a while, and I had to take a break, you know, and, you know, give myself some love and not try to decompartmentalize everything, you know, so I needed to find a balance in that. So there's a lot more information that's coming out about why someone does it. Like I said, the people in the medical world who study it or come across it are now coming to understand it's on the level of Tourette's. Okay, so you know how someone who has Tourette's and they have like a jerk movement, whatever that may be, you know, it's for them, it's very uncontrollable. Like they don't even realize they're about to do it, or they feel it coming on them, and it's hard for them to control, or there's hardly any control. So that is what it's like. It's not even necessarily what it feels like. That is what it is. It is like. However, it is now getting later in the day and I have some errands I need to run, but I'm glad I was able to make this video. Thank you for watching. And like I said, I'll be making better, more structured video about this in particular. I just figured I'd come on live as I did my makeup and, you know, tune in with y'all, an update. I'm sure, I don't even know if anybody that actually knows who came to the live, but oh well. All right, bye.